been stranded here for 5 years. For 5 years, I've had only one thought, one goal: survive.
Oliver Queen is alive, found in the North China Sea 5 days ago.
You died. My brother and my father died. I went to your funerals.
You can survive this. Make it better. Right my wrongs.
What happened to you on that island?
A lot.
This city's gone to crap. Your dad sold his factory just in time.
I am returning. Not the boy who was shipwrecked, but the man who will bring justice to those who have poisoned my city. My father left me with a list of names. Those who rule my city through intimidation and fear. Every last one of them will wish I had died on that island.
He was wearing a hood, a green hood, and he had a bow and arrow.
We'll put out an APB on Robin Hood.
Did your father survive that accident? Did he make it to the island? Did he tell you anything?
He told me I'm gonna kill you. He's here!
All units converge!
It looks like Starling City has a guardian angel.
Tell me you saw that?
Nobody can know my secret.
What's up, Ballroom 20? How you guys doing? Well, thanks for being here. I'm not going to waste any more of your time on my stuff, so let's bring out our team. First, we've got co-creators and executive producers Andrew Kreisberg and Mark Guggenheim. Pilot director and executive producer David Nutter. The ridiculously sexy Katie Cassidy, who plays Laurel Dinah Lance. And the also ridiculously sexy Stephen Amell, who plays Oliver McQueen. How about that? Well, congratulations, guys. You guys like the pilot? Yeah? All right. So first off, I want to ask to the producers and the creators, of all of the DC characters out there up for grabs, why the Arrow now?
I'll tell you, Peter Roth. He's in the audience. His idea, head of the studio, came to us, said, Green Arrow, TV show. We said, hell yeah.
And I think everybody has asked on Twitter and Facebook, and they've emailed TV Guide and everybody, they want to know, are we going to see other DC characters in this world? And I think, Andrew, you probably can tell us more about that.
Yeah, one of our proof of concepts for this project was Andy Diggle's Green Arrow Year One. And for those of you who are familiar with it, you know the villain in that was China White. So we're very excited to announce in an upcoming episode of Arrow that China White will be played by Kelly Hu from X2.
Nice. So for you guys, I mean, clearly, I think anyone would want these two on their show. But what about Stephen and Katie really just clicked for you guys?
Their looks.
Yeah.
No, they were, Stephen was actually, and this is true, Stephen was the first person to come in and audition for Oliver, literally the first person we saw. And as soon as he finished his audition, we asked him if he would mind waiting outside for 1 minute so we could all look at each other and go, holy crap, we found him on our first try. And Katie is, you know, a star, and we were just so thrilled that she consented to join our merry band.
Mm-hmm. And Stephen, what did you think of the Green Arrow before you got this role?
I didn't know a ton about the Green Arrow before I got this role, to be perfectly honest. I knew that I really liked the pilot. I really wanted, who doesn't want to play a superhero on TV? I mean, this is what you want to do, except I kind of always wanted to play a villain, which I've said, but this will do for now. This is, it was just, you know, you get to, when I got cast, I turned to my cousin later that night because someone bought a Green Arrow comic book, and I've since read everything, starting with Year One. And I turned to him and I'm like, I'm gonna get to wear a suit. That was it, I was sold.
Okay, that brings me to the question about the suit. How did you guys come up with this design, this version of the outfit? Because some of the versions we've seen are, you know, Little easy being green?
Well, it's actually very difficult being green. But we started with, first of all, we started with Colleen Atwood, who is a multi-time Oscar award-winning costume designer. So it was our incredibly good fortune to have her design the costume. And basically what we started with was, we said, start with a leather jacket and a hood. And it should be so grounded and realistic that if you were to walk down the street with just the leather jacket and the hood, no one would look twice.
Aside from the arrows.
Well, then we started to enhance.
Right.
But it's all in part of a philosophy, as you can see in the pilot, of grounded, real, everything functional. One of the things we're always saying is that Oliver's not wearing a costume. He's wearing something that gives him a predatory advantage, that puts him back in the hunter mindset that he developed on the island. Everything is not about form, it's about function.
Okay. And Katie, you're playing a character that I think everybody in the room knows is rooted in a very well-known female superhero in this world.
Is that true?
Wonder Woman.
I didn't know that. Yeah, exactly.
And clearly we're going to see the evolution of this character, and I think, Andrew, in the TV Guide special Comic-Con issue, plug, you mentioned how these characters, they will possibly evolve into what they are known for now. But Katie, are you prepared to possibly spend a lot of time in black fishnets?
Who wants to see Katie kick butt?
That's Offset.
Yeah. If that's what if the costume is going to be, and if it happens, I think I'm ready to take it on. But I mean, I'm really excited. I feel like a part of this project. When I read it, this character really spoke to me, and the show, and obviously being in business with you guys was definitely a main attraction for myself. So yes.
All right. And can you guys tell us how soon will we see Laurel become a woman of action?
Andrew?
Oh, let's go there.
Not as soon as you'd want, but a lot sooner than you'd think.
Okay. All right.
Good
That
answer.
didn't make any sense.
Right?
That didn't make any sense.
You know what?
Did it not?
Oh, it will. It will. You will. It'll make perfect sense. Just remember the quote when you watch the episode. You go, oh wow, Andrew was right.
All right. And Stephen, we need to just get this taken care of once and for all. This is the other question that we got all over online.
Oh, I know.
The workout scene.
Yeah.
Okay. Right? Okay, is that actually CGI, or are those actually your abs?
Oh. No, that's me. No. No way.
It actually was me.
Pardon me?
I said it actually was me.
It's Katie.
Yeah.
No, that's me for sure.
The one thing when I was putting this scene together, the one thing I said to myself when we did that sequence, he had actually been training and doing this for weeks before we got started, and I saw this in a training video, and I said, let's put this in the show. And then I said to myself, when he did it, I said to one person that's out here now to do a shout out to is Glenn Winter, who shot this pilot. He did 10 years of Smallville. Stand up, Glenn. But I said to myself, when we did that sequence, I turned to Glenn and I said, Batman can't do that.
That's true.
David, actually, I wanted to ask you, you did the pilot for Smallville. You did this pilot. Is there something about comic book-based shows and you that you just get it?
Well, it's interesting. I just thought before I got on stage, I thought about the word Holy Trinity. And this is the third in that trinity, in that trilogy, I guess, with respect to Smallville, Supernatural, and Arrow. And Arrow stands up to both those shows extremely well. And I had a little something to do with bringing Tom Welling and Kristen Crook to you guys, as well as Jensen and Jared. And when it comes to Steven and Katie, you ain't seen nothing yet, guys. These guys are fantastic. They're tremendous. It was the most enjoyable experience I've ever had on a pilot, and the scripts are just kick-ass, and it's going to be really a tremendous thing. But for me, it's all about telling stories that actually matter and have some resonance and have some drama to them that actually affect you and make you feel something. And this script that Andrew and Mark and Greg put together was just something that I read, and I said, I want to be involved.
Was there ever any discussion of just spinning off the Green Arrow from Smallville?
No, not really. The thing about the Justin Hartley version of Green Arrow, it's absolutely terrific, but it's very much a function of Smallville, and that version of the character wasn't designed to anchor an entire TV show. That version of the character was designed to be part of this other world that David created. So when you're looking to turn the Green Arrow into his own series, his own show without anyone else, you sort of have to reimagine the character to work, I think, in just a more grounded, realistic way. Plus which, it's part of the nature of a vigilante. A vigilante, you want to do a dark story. You want to have a dark, conflicted hero, because that's the nature of, taking the law into your own hands. You want to be able to explore all those things. And I just don't think that with the tone that was established on Smallville, we could have gone as dark as we clearly did with the pilot.
I also think that, one of the great things about genre stuff is, the Christian Bale Batman is amazing, but you can also enjoy the Michael Keaton Batman, and you can love the Adam West Batman, and one version doesn't obviate the other. And, Justin was amazing, and, we're all fans of Smallville, and, that version exists. But, this is a new take on the material, and, we hope you guys will like that.
And that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about. You just mentioned how dark this is. Steven, this guy is a killer. Like, he kills somebody in this, and he's our hero. How is this, how are you approaching this concept?
If we were going to take this series and we were going to ground it in reality, you couldn't, if you were being realistic, you couldn't expect that Oliver was going to undertake something so monumental without there being collateral damage. You don't always have to like his tactics, and I'm fine if some people don't, but you should respect, or at least I hope you would, what he's trying to do. He's trying to clean up his city. It's not the easiest thing to do, and there are snap necks along the way, apparently.
So it's a pretty dark tone in this pilot. Should we expect going forward the rest of the series to be and maintain this very stylized, dark approach to things?
Well, I think that's just one element of it. I think also, too, it's a wonderful emotional story with the family and trying to get back together and trying to really deal with a character and a leading character that has post-traumatic stress disorder from being on this island for 5 years. And as you can see, the scars, his physical scars, there's just as many emotional scars as well. So there'll be elements in this series in which we'll be going back to the island and kind of getting a sense and feel of what really made him who he is. Those elements of those little Easter eggs and so forth that you saw with the little introduction of the Deathstroke mask that'll come into play very, very soon on the series, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I know you'd
okay,
like that.
I have a question about that. So there's a display at the DC booth with the costume and the Deathstroke mask. And it says, look for it in the premiere of Arrow. So is this something else we should look to become a recurring thing? Will people be donning these things, or should we just look for little nods to the universe?
Both. One of the things that we're always doing is we're working in little Easter eggs. Like, for example, the police sketch that you see, that's drawn by Mike Grell, who did The Longbow Hunters, which was another seminal, source material for us in developing the show. So there'll be, like, big pieces of the DC universe, like Deathstroke, that you'll be seeing, but there'll also be tiny little nuggets that you'll have to listen carefully and watch carefully in order to appreciate and notice.
Mm-hmm. And not to embarrass either of you, but Andrew, when I interviewed you for the magazine, you mentioned how Katie is so good that she doesn't even understand how good she is yet.
I agree.
Do you find yourselves looking forward to writing the emotional arc for these two characters because of what she brings to this?
Yeah, and I mean, that's, obviously they're both very attractive actors, but, what's so, amazing for us is, we don't approach this as, we're writing a superhero show. For us, it's a crime thriller, it's a family drama, it's a romance, and, to have, great actors, to write for, and, everything we give them, they just, elevate the material. So. And
also, too, the supporting cast with, Susanna Thompson, Paul Blackthorne, David Ramsey, Willa Holland. I mean, that's just the cast in this thing is amazing. Each of these characters could be leads in their own series, of course.
We're blessed with an incredibly deep bench. And that's the thing, like, Andrew's right. Every time we start to break a new episode, we don't start with, well, who's the bad guy of the week? We start with, what's happening with our characters this week? What happened to them last week that is infecting them this week? How can we have them interact in a different way? What are they feeling? What are they going through? It's that, emotionally resonant. That phrase is the phrase that we're always looking, to earn and use throughout the show.
Mm-hmm. And for Katie and Stephen, and this will be our last question, unfortunately, should this show have as successful a run as previous comic book-based shows on the CW from Warner Brothers? Are you guys ready to basically just get in there and live as superheroes and super lovers for several seasons?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm so happy to be here. I feel really honored and lucky and kind of can't wait.
Yeah. We get to, we go back and start shooting our second episode on Wednesday. And if everything goes well, we're going to be working hard for the next decade. But this is really important. We're about to go work really hard, and I read the second episode, and it takes what we did in the first one, and it elevates it again. And to get this sort of response from you guys, for everyone that came out, it gives us all the energy we need to deliver something good for you. We're very, very grateful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you guys are all that matters.
All right. Thank you, guys. Congratulations again. Thank you all for being here. Have a great rest of the convention, and we'll see you later.